Hello students, and welcome back to Hexxit Education. Today is a very special episode. Today, in a way, is kind of like graduation day, although not really, because this sort of marks what I'm calling the halfway point in our Hexxit Education curriculum. Essentially, up until now, all we talked about is academic subjects for the most part. We've had a couple of close encounters with various mobs in Hexxit, but for the most part, it's been a straight tutorial series. Me talking to you and you hopefully understanding what I'm saying and using that knowledge to improve your gameplay in Hexxit. From this point on, however, the vast majority of what we're going to do is all going to be Let's Play based, and I'm looking forward to this ever since I thought of the idea for Hexxit Education. From this point until the end, I'm guessing we're going to get another maybe 40 or 50 episodes out of this series. We're going to be doing a number of Let's Plays. That is, we're going to be investigating the various structures and encounters, or for lack of a better term, the various raids that are available in Hexxit, and there are a lot of them. For the most part, I'm going to be able to show you, I think, all of them, as far as I can tell. There are some which were hard to find than others. There are some of which to be honest, spawned in because they were just so freaking rare or just impossible to find. And in some cases, they were almost impossible to find. In fact, you'll probably never see them during your Hexxit game. An example being the Better Dungeons caves, some of which spawn between levels 3 and 5. So there was no way I was going to actually find those things unless I, just hollowed out 5,000 blocks away with the Hunter's Handgun, which could be kind of fun, but realistically, it wasn't going to happen. So I did spawn in a couple of those, and several episodes down, we will get into that. But for today, I thought we start off a little bit early. Sorry, I should have said it. We should start off for today. I think we're going to start off a little bit easy. So what we're going to do today is head out into the desert. We're going to tackle a pyramid boss from Project Zulu and the Pharoah Boss, also from Project Zulu. So I'll see you guys out on the sandbox. And I'm back. Hello, students, and welcome to the pyramid. This is the pyramid from Project Zulu. In general, this is the appearance you will see when you encounter these in the normal world. The flaming nether rack there is not always present, but is sometimes present when you happen to see one of these at a distance. So look for the flames atop something that looks on your mini map like a big square, and you'll probably come over to the pyramid. One thing of note I should point out: nearby the pyramid, it's not unusual to see Project Zulu creatures. So look for them if you can. I think I saw there's a sandworm over here. And that's an armadillo acting kind of wacky. I think that's a vulture or a pelican. That's a vulture up there. So these are all Project Zulu creatures. If you're interested in getting some drops from them to make Project Zulu potions possibly, I would definitely recommend harvesting them, or if you want to make scale armor. But today we're here for the pyramid. We're going to raid this thing. Now, this being our first sort of excursion, I should point out a couple of ground rules I'm going to do for all of my raids in the future. First and foremost, I am going to be playing with Keep Inventory turned on. Second, I am going to sleep the night before right outside of the raid area, just for simplicity's sake. I don't want to have to keep going back and forth to that point. Next thing, whenever possible, I'm going to try and play with sort of the minimum required armor. So you can see I do not have the best thing possible. I'm going to be playing with unenchanted iron armor for this particular raid. Very common enough. I'm going to be using, however, a diamond giant sword, also unenchanted, so not the best thing. I'm also going to be using meteorite pickaxe and axe. I have a couple of fire grenades, which are not terribly hard to find. You just need some we learned before. You just need to get some potion, some glass bottles, and fire essence. Not impossible to find this during the iron stage in the game. I'm also going to be wearing the Tinker's Construct knapsack. This might be a bit of a stretch at this point, unless you can find quite a bit of leather, but it's not impossible. So I'm fine doing that. I'm also going to be carrying 2 big black backpacks. Again, this assumes you have leather at this point. 2 stacks of torches. I may, as I see fit, generate more torches during any given raid, just so you can see more easily. I've got a crystal bow, not too difficult if you can get enough diamonds for a diamond giant sword in addition. And I've got a quiver from Legend Gear. If you remember, the recipe for this doesn't actually show up, but it's just 5 pieces of leather with a arrow in the middle, and you can make this, and it holds 200 arrows. That should be sufficient for most of these raids. So I think we're about ready to head in. Okay, so what another thing? What can you expect from this particular dungeon or raid? Well, the Project Zulu pyramids most notably feature mimics. So I mean, accustomed to finding chests all over the place, but however, not all of them will be real chests. A lot of them are mimics, which are creatures that are disguised by chests. Best way you can tell the difference: start hacking at the chest with an axe, and then see if it attacks you. So that's a useful little way of telling a difference. There will be some haunted armors in there, which drop ectoplasm. I think you may find a couple spawners, but that's somewhat rare. So we're gonna go to nighttime. Give me a second. Okay, and we're gonna head inside. Now this is the first time I've really done this kind of let's play in that I'm just going in and seeing where things are. So please bear with me in that regard. I got some sand in here. I don't think that's a common feature. So it looks like this particular pyramid has suffered a cave-in. Let's see what we can find in any case. Not really hearing anything at this point. Huh. Okay, this may actually be a problem. It looks like part of this pyramid, whoa, has been the victim of foul play. Alright, it looks like some of this pyramid may be downstairs. So is that... multiple entrances and exits. That's a little unusual. Typically, what you'll see is a pyramid that goes upwards. So I'm kind of confused as to why this one seems to be going down. As far as I know, there's only one type of pyramid. I'm tempted just to do some digging. A meteorite shovel, then go back to recipe mode. Because assuming I find one decent-sized meteorite strike, you can definitely get enough meteor for all this material, plus enough iron. So I think that's a fair estimate of ability. Okay, so I'm not really seeing anything here. Oh, I am seeing daylight, so it looks like this sand represents just the top layer, and I don't think there's even a structure up there. Okay, so I think what we're dealing with is sort of the top floor of this pyramid. Let's head. Oh, another thing from Project Zulu. Interesting. That is a rhino. Ooh. And he found a desert well. Cool. And that, oh, we got some aloe vera. Very useful. We learned about that in our plants episode. Speaking of plants, sorry, this is my first time doing this, so I'm going to have to keep remembering stuff. Like, for example, food. This thing has a lot of twists and turns, but as far as I only seen the one way down so far. Okay. So I think this is meant to be purposely confusing. Ah, there we go. Okay. That is... That's a little bit strange. See what happens when I do this. Okay. Seems a little odd they would have that kind of a false turn. Yeah, I think it was a false turn. Okay, so we had a little bit of a lava trap there. If we weren't going as slow as we are now, I would have gone to that. Alright, so we're going to head downstairs. I think the sand pillar approach is probably our best bet. Oop. Ugh. Okay, that wasn't the smartest thing. Okay, so apparently one of these entrances that I did not see goes downwards. Oh. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is our main entrance. So let's proceed. Okay. What in the... Oh, God. Okay, this is a little bit... I've never seen this before, and this is more than a little bit frightening. I'm seeing lapis, I'm seeing chests, but I'm also seeing ladders attached to sand, and that is frightening to me. So, what am I going to do? Okay, this is a puzzle trap. So let's disarm the puzzle. I'm hearing mob noises, so I suspect what we're dealing with are a couple of spawners up there. So let's see. If I hit this, these should dissolve. So let's move a little higher and see what we're dealing with here. Aha! So, there is our trap. Okay, so this is indeed a trap room. Okay, so one disarmed. Now, I'm not sure if they're designed to cascade or not. Oh, there's a zombie. I didn't see a spawner, though. So, if I had to guess, I'd say there's something else in here. But I haven't seen it so far. So I can take this guy out. So as you can tell, I'm being overly cautious here, and I promise I'm not going to be this cautious always. I'm just really kind of concerned whenever I see something I haven't seen before. I'm seriously starting to think there's a spawner in there. I'm hearing a skeleton. I see him. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing... Oh. Holy crap on a stick. Okay. Yep, spawner, there it is. Can't see this guy. This is not good. There we go. Sorry it took me so long. There we go. One down. So if I guess, I said there's another one over here. Where is the other one? All the way I'm picking up. Oh, there it is. Oh, crap. Yeah, I heard him. He must have come down from up there. Interesting. So we have netherrack on top of smooth stone. Yeah, he must have spawned up in that thing somewhere. Not really seeing any visible spawners. I wouldn't put him past to have a creeper spawner up there, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. Okay, so let's head back up to this aperture here for a moment. So what we got so far is we disabled, I believe, these two here. And as far as I can tell, these aren't connected to anything else. So let's see what happens. All right, so it looks like that's the pattern. Okay, so these two are disabled, but these two are not. So I'm gonna have to get up and disable the other two. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's the game. All right, so I disabled all 4 of those lava blocks, but I was wondering why they would have blocks of gemstones on top of chests. The only reason I could think of is because they wanted you to break this block. So what happens if you break this block? Well, I think I just found it. Here we go. Water blocks. So I guess the idea is that you would have water on the bottom and lava on the top. You sort of get cobblestone between. Okay, so let's disable both of these. Okay, and there's the other water source block. So I'm just going to seal that off. And safe. Okay, so now unless these things are trapped, which I don't think they are, we should be safe to... Yep. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I should mention this before, while I'm at this. In general, I am not going to include what we are picking up. It's just a pet policy of mine. What I will do is at the end of every raid, we're going to have a sort of a loot off, and we're going to figure out exactly, who got what kind of loot, that sort of thing. But for the moment, I'm just going to, as much as I can, shove everything into a sack. And if I need it later on, I can go and get it. But pretty much just putting it away for the moment. Okay, so we definitely have a nether portal here, and I'm not sure why we would have one, other than it outlines this Eye of Ra in it, which has a diamond block over there. Guarantees something messed up involves it, especially given that this outline is made out of sand. So let's take a closer look at this area. So I'm looking at this room. This room is made out of netherrack. The bottom is made out of smooth stone. If I had to guess, I'd say this room is constructed basically around this structure, especially given the presence of these fires. So if I had to guess, removing this probably does something bad. That's my feeling. Question is how to remove it without triggering any kind of trap. Now, if this was early in the game, I might seriously consider mining out all this wool, because I maybe need to make a bed or some variation on that. Or let's see. Okay, so I'm going to give myself an item that I think I would probably have at this point in the game. If not have, then have access to, and that is a flint and steel. Now, if this was earlier in the game, I might consider mining out all this wool. It might be useful for something, but since it's not, I'm actually going to set it on fire. My understanding is that wool burns fairly quickly and spreads. So let's see what happens, shall we? Okay, sand's moving a little bit, but let's see what happens when it gets to the diamond. Okay, so this looks like it's in pretty good shape as far as I can tell. So okay, so we burned away most of the eye here, and as far as I can tell, there's no real danger. However, the only way really to check is to go behind this thing. Okay, so it looks like we have stone behind this and dirt, so this may actually be okay. Just want to check the blocks behind this thing, because I'm always very cautious when someone offers me a diamond. Okay, so this looks safe, so let's mine it. Alright, got it. Okay, so we have, as far as I can tell, finished this pyramid. This is by no means a typical pyramid. As far as I can tell, I've never seen one like this before. Most of the ones I've encountered have a lot of twisty-turny floors and levels. This one seems to be a netherrack style pyramid, possibly, but it's definitely from Project Zulu, at least given the presence of those creatures outside. So, very unusual. All right, so just for the heck of it, and since we do have another portal shaped thing here, I want to see what's on the other side. Okay, so I'm looking at lava coming down. So this is more than likely new terrain generation. Not seeing any structures of any kind. So, okay, so this just seems to be a random nether portal. So it could be very useful early in the game if you want to get access to the nether. Something useful, or if you just wanted to harvest the obsidian. Okay, so I'm going to call this the netherrack style pyramid. So let's see what we got out of this. Okay, so in general, not a great haul. I definitely came in there with the right amount of gear, unenchanted iron armor with some diamond and meteorite tools, definitely sufficient to take that one out. So we got some carrots, we got a couple of bows, including a power 2 bow, a couple damaged ones here, some arrows. We got a block of gold and a block of diamond. Fairly useful. So that was the high point, was the diamond. We got a zombie head for our troubles, a little bit of food, some books, some wheat. So in general, not terribly valuable. Okay, so I felt kind of bad about that particular pyramid being so small for one thing, and also being very atypical. I had never seen a pyramid like that before, and for good reason. So I looked it up. That is actually a rare spawn type of pyramid from Project Zulu. So what I did, if you look on my mini-map here, is I spawned in a regular one. So this is usually what you will find in terms of pyramids. They're quite big. As you see, this is more than twice the size of the one we just covered, and unlike this one, it does not have the netherrack. I think the netherrack is an indicator that this is sort of a nether pyramid, much smaller and definitely less loot. This one is the one I was thinking about when I think about a pyramid. So I'm going to go fairly quickly through this, if at all possible. I'm going to try and not trip over too much. In general, there's not going to be much to trip over. I mean, a pyramid is fairly straightforward. There's an entrance, you go in it, and you work your way up to the top. You encounter spawners, and like I said before, many mimics. And as far as I can tell, there are rarely ever any traps or surprises. Here we go. Let's see. One easy way to tell it, because we have damage indicators, you can tell what a mimic is, because he actually shows mimic up there. So I'm going to take my axe and beat it to death. And this guy, and him too. Take that out. Oh. Okay, so let's take this thing out here. And, oh, more of them. He's got a cactus. Oh, the cactus must have been broken when this thing was spawned. As you can see, not too difficult. I have some more spawners around here. I think that is actually another mimic. So normally I'd be doing this a little more methodically, but because I've already seen a couple of spawns here, I'm going through and taking out the spawners as I go. I definitely recommend bringing a lot of torches whenever you do a normal pyramid like this, because you will definitely find areas where there is not much light, and you'll find areas where you haven't been before. And in those kind of areas, you want to You basically want to be able to visually mark that you've already been there. Another useful thing about using an axe to check for mimics is that it will automatically open the chest for you and dump all the loot out into the open. You can just pick it up because you're using a meteorite axe. A lot of books. Oh yeah, I should note that. It's very common to find books, especially enchanted books, in labyrinths like this. Whoa! Oh wow! That's an infernal zombie, infernal skeleton, with teleporting. Okay, I'm probably gonna see him there he is. I can hear him. He's taking damage. He must have teleported outside. Okay, I'm never gonna find my way outside before he dies, so I'll have a little bit of music here. Okay, there's one of the stairways that leads upstairs. I should note it's not uncommon to find these mimics next to each other, or even nesting as that one was. So watch out whenever you see anything that looks kind of almost like it's double exposed. Yeah, you can feel free to skip these mimics if you want, but I find in general they give you pretty good experience, so it's usually worth it. Yeah, see, those two mimics were right next to each other, and the only way you can tell is to assume they are mimics. You will find yourself knocking into quite a few chests. Just even if you know they're not, just out of habit. Okay, let's go this way and see what we find. And that's clear. This way is clear. That is real chest, I think. Yep. I'm hearing an odd noise, and I'm wondering if that might be one of the beetles from Project Zulu, because it sounds almost like a frog, like a burp. Okay, that is a mimic. Enderstorm Bulwark Ninja. That's what he is. And apparently his ninja jutsu or whatever is running away. I remember thinking that way when I first learned about parkour, and I heard it described as the French art of running away, which is true and yet not true at the same time. As I understand it, parkour is the art of traveling from one place to another as efficiently as possible and being able to travel back of it. It is the art of I think it's the art of escape. And it was initially designed for people to immediately get out of urban areas in the end of a disaster, like a fire or something, when there wasn't always an easy access. Okay, so I think we've got a lot of this area taken care of. I'm still hearing stuff, and it could very well be upstairs. One of the dangers of these pyramids is that they usually have multiple levels, and looks like about 4 per floor, 4 blocks per floor. So I'm going to guess this is probably like a 4 or 5 block pyramid. So let's head for the staircase. And here we go, the staircase. Let's head upstairs. Now, no, I've already used up I came in here with about half a stack of torches, or I used up half a stack. So definitely, I always carry at least 2 stacks of torches whenever I go into a new area. Same reason I always carry, well, more than 2. I was going to say I usually carry 2 pens around. Okay, that's out. And oh, you know, it just occurred to me. Okay, sorry about for this particular raid, but I think in the future I'm gonna try and start off with 0 experience, just so we also get a good idea of how much XP you're likely to get from these. Okay, I'm down about half a stack of torches at this point, which is quite a bit. After a while, you don't even like think. You just think, oh, chest must stab. Okay, so this is sort of the, I guess we call it the, oh, huh. Okay, he must have come down the stairs. As far as I know, there are no creeper spawners. Well, it's going to be a little harder to get up there that way. Okay, but I'll get up there in a second, and I'll be able to tell which way it is. Oh, I definitely want to apologize for how long this particular Let's Play is going to be. Not all of them are going to be this long, I guarantee you. I'm just trying to get as much as I can. Just give you an idea of what a full clear is going to be. But rest assured, I'm not going to give you the full uncut video. I want to keep my episodes much shorter than this one is turning out to be. Okay, so at this point I think the west side is clear. And I believe the north side looks clear too. Oh, okay, so here's the east side, it's not. Okay, so as far as I can tell, I am done with floor number 2. Gonna move up now to the 3rd floor. Oh, that's what makes all that noise. Okay, so there's definitely gonna be some zombies around here. Okay, so I just spawned in 2 more stacks of torches, which means I've used 1.5 stacks so far in this particular pyramid. Let's keep going here. I found quite a bit of stuff. I actually just filled the first of my 2 big backpacks, which is not uncommon in this thing. I typically carry 2 to 4 big backpacks, because 1 is usually enough. Well, 1 or 2 is usually enough for a decent size raid, but if you want to do more than 1 in an outing before you head back to your base, carry more than 2. Okay, I'm finding it's very useful in this to use the mini-map to your advantage, as I have a terrible sense of direction, and this place is not helping that situation in any regard. I think I've got, at this point, I think I've got the north quadrant finished. Looks like the east also. You check the west over here. That looks pretty good. And the south. Okay, so finishing up with the 3rd floor, going on to the 4th floor. Now I think this should be the top floor, as far as I can tell. Oh, double mimic. Yeah, that's definitely not uncommon. I think I've seen 4 in one little alcove, so that's pretty much the max that I've seen so far. I cannot even count how many I've killed. It must be like over 40 of these things. Okay, so as far as I can tell, I'm on this this 4th floor. I think it's maybe the last floor, come to think of it, because this is fairly small. So what I'm going to do at this point, and I'm still hearing zombie noises because they might be outside. So I'm actually going to cut through one of the walls, and it should be, yeah, fairly close to the outside. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sometimes there is actually this little corridor on the topmost level. I don't think I've ever actually found anything valuable in here, but I do occasionally find some mobs because it's so dark in here. It's pitch black. So this may very well be what we were hearing before. Let's see if I can. This might be outside. Yeah, this is outside, so see how much we have. So yeah, there's a little bit of space here, but I don't think any of this is occupied. I remember the first time I came into a pyramid, I was very surprised to find that it's actually there's no sort of final room. Oh, hang on. Okay, so we have one last room here that's spawned at the top. A couple more things in it. But unlike a lot of the raids we'll encounter, there is no like final boss in a pyramid. That is kind of one of the stranger things about it. However, I kind of felt in this episode that we kind of needed a final boss just because just sort of have it go out with a bang, so to speak. So I am actually going to summon the boss of this kind of area, and I'll do that in a few minutes, just after we have our loot recap. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So in general we have books, lots and lots of books. In general, we filled about one large chest full of loot, which is equal to one big backpack. So we didn't actually need our second big backpack here, but still glad we had it in any case. We got all kinds of books. We got golden apple. We got a little bit of iron, redstone, gunpowder, wheat. I happen to like to collect my chests, so I know I've already gotten them. So there's that. Saddles. We got 2 music discs. We got actually 57 shiny baubles. Remember, these are our make tier 2 potions using Project Zulu potions. So very useful. This is pretty much most of what you need for a game out of one large pyramid raid. We also got a Chocopedia. This is actually a very common thing to find in chests and drops, so you'll find them all over the place. I think in one of my maps I ended up burning something like 15 of these things because I count them all over the place. We also got one Necronomicon page. It's kind of cool. I think we need 6 of those in order to make, or 6? No, we need 5 of them in order to make the Necronomicon. And I got a little bit of emerald shards, but most notably, and this is actually very serendipitous, I got this, a jasper block. Now, it's not a huge deal that we actually found this because it's not too difficult to make. Jasper block is made with either redstone or rose red and sand. Simple as that. The downside about the jasper block is because even though it looks very nice, you can't actually use it as decoration because you can't really place it. Unfortunately, it looks cool. It looks kind of like a type of almost like a redstone block, but it doesn't actually work that way. So the reason I was happy that we got this jasper block is because this is the crucial ingredient to summon the Pharoah Boss. Now, before we do that, I want to show you how my gear fared. So we did not use the bow at all. So you do not need to use. It's a noisy bird. You do not need to use. What do you want? Oh, okay. I amend that. You do actually need the bow for something. To give yourself a little peace and quiet. Okay, so now that we got rid of those birds, I just wanted to have you know that I'm wearing unenchanted iron armor, and with going through 2 of those pyramids, it suffered maybe about half durability. So not a terrible loss. Like I said before, we did not use our bow on the inside. You don't actually need that. We didn't even use our grenades. I wasn't sure if I might need those if I got too many mimics on me, but we didn't really need those at all. All we needed was a good sword and some iron armor and a little bit of ingenuity to take out those traps. So, how do you summon the Pharoah Boss? First and foremost, make sure you have your bed fairly close by. Find an area that is not too isolated, but also not too populated. The reason is that the Pharoah Boss is a 4-stage boss, and one of his abilities is to teleport. So what you do is you create this configuration with torches. That is basically a circle here and a plus sign. This is to represent the Ankh. It's supposed to be a loop at the top. I believe it represents the transit of the sun, and the sort of cross at the bottom here is the solar cross, also a symbol of the sun, and also the 4 cardinal directions. How you summon the Pharoah Boss is by placing the jasper block in the only place it can actually stand, here. Getting a little bit of whispering here. something is going on, and we've got some structures being formed. I should note that it is highly recommended to do this during daytime, because the Pharaoh Boss will summon bad guys around him, and you don't want to have to deal with them at the same time you're dealing with this guy. So I gotta admit, this is actually the first time I've actually ever summoned the Pharaoh Boss, so let's see how this goes. Okay, it looks like it's building a pyramid. Yep. It should be breaking out very soon. He's got 200 health. Fireballs at me. Whoa, whoa, God, wow, fire. Fire bad, fire bad. Okay, so many mummies. A lot of mummies. Wow, he's fast. Okay, he's at half health. I think he's in stage 3, so he's still only doing the mummies right now. Okay, stage 4. I can tell because he has the mummies, and he's also throwing fireballs at me. Oh crap! I'm poisoned. Where is he? I think I'm gonna make it. Okay, one of his mummies is an infernal. I'm dead. Okay, I got him down to about 25% health. I did not think the fire would be that much of a problem, but it is. So I'm going to respawn. Gotta respawn a little bit farther away. So okay, I'm gonna give myself a moment. My armor took a bit of a beating there, but I should note for one other thing. I'm playing this with you can see here 10 of the heart canisters, so my health is actually twice normal. So I would have died much quicker if I hadn't done that. So I'm going to make an amendment to my to my gear here very quickly. Just going to use a fire resistance potion. I got him almost down, but now that I know how big of an issue fire is, I think I'm ready for him this time. So round 2. Where is he? Okay, I can see his health bar. There he is. Wow, that's a lot of zombies. Alright, that's a lot of mummies. You can imagine how much more dangerous this would be. Why did my bow just fall off me? Wait, why do I have mining? Why do I have slowness? Oh, I mean, it must be an aura that he's projecting at me. Oh, it could be that oh, that's this guy. It's him. It's the Infernal. And I think you dropped some meteorite pants. Ooh, correct meteorite leggings. Okay, I'm using those. Wait, it's not one, not. Okay, where is he? Okay, sorry about that. I guess it was a little anticlimactic, but yeah, I think we got the guy because he dropped an Ender Giant Sword and a Diamond Shield. So sorry, it wasn't a little more clear. What I was hoping he might drop is this, which is a rare drop, the Ankh. This is used to hurl fireballs to your enemies at the cost of yourself of about half a heart. So we did not get that, and he tore through about half of our iron armor. So I recommend him going up against the Pharaoh. You definitely get yourself probably some diamond armor and, like I did before, a fire resistance potion, because the fire was actually quite a bit of trouble. So I think this first raid has gone for far enough. We got some pretty good loot off the Pharaoh boss, although I think my armor was a little underprepared for that. But this has been Kankadea for Hexxit Education, and class dismissed.